Smiling, laughing, and enjoying some comedy all can have a positive effect on your overall well-being. Now one comedian in Las Vegas is bringing a spotlight to mental health. Fox 5's Regina Ahn brings us his story.
They say happiness is not, unshared happiness is not real happiness.
Leo Flowers, originally from Chicago, Illinois, is a comedian, but also a mental health counselor. He says his act here in Las Vegas shines a light on the importance of destigmatizing mental health.
One of the biggest contributors to depression and suicidality is feeling like you're the only one going through it.
That's why Flowers believes in the power of sharing one's story, as telling the truth and what you've been through can help someone.
I've done shows before, Regina, where at the end of shows, grown men have come up to me to give me a hug. And not to hug me because they feel sorry for me and my story, but because they feel seen.
Anytime I get lazy and say I'm 6'2", some dude who's 6'2" stands next to me. And he's like, nah.
And laughter, as Flowers says, really is a great medicine. Dr. Farzad Kamar, psychiatrist for Roseman University, says purposely and truly laughing can have life-changing effects.
From the mental health side of things, they've seen decreases in stress hormones. A popular one is cortisol.
Farzad says lowering cortisol, also known as a stress hormone, can help one's anxiety and even improve depressive symptoms.
And I'm talking, it touches a lot of different chronic issues. Things like improved symptoms in heart disease, diabetes, Parkinson's, rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, right? So these are chronic conditions that can be improved with something as simple as laughter.
I'm a logistical transportation engineer, and you're like, nah. You drive Uber.
And Flowers will be performing at the Comedy Cellar at the Rio from tonight through Sunday.